Mother's Day by J.B. Priestley. The following play is a humorous portrayal of the status of the mother in a family. Let us read on to see how Mrs. Pearson's family reacts when she tries to stand up for her own rights. There are 5 characters: Mrs. Annie Pearson, George Pearson, Doris Pearson, Cyril Pearson, and Mrs. Fitzgerald. The action takes place in the living room of the Pearson's house in a London suburb. Suburb is an area which is next to a big metropolitan city, suburban area. Time is the present. This act is of the present only. Scene: the living room of the Pearson family. Afternoon is the time, and it is comfortably furnished, means furniture is comfortable. Much lived in room. They spend most of their time in this room. In a small suburban semi-detached villa, if necessary, one door need to be used, but it is better with 2. One up left leading to the front door, and the stairs on the other in the right wall leading to the kitchen and the back door. There can be a muslin covered window in the left wall and possibly one in the right wall too. The fireplace is assumed to be in the 4th wall where audience sit. So there will be no 4th wall actually. So there is a settee. Settee is sofa without back. Upright, so means on the right side. An armchair down left and one down right. So there is a small table with 2 chairs on either side of it, stands at the center. When the curtain rises, it is an afternoon in early autumn, and the stage can be well lit, means lighting could be good. Mrs. Pearson at right side and Mrs. Fitzgerald at left are sitting opposite each other at the small table on which are 2 teacups and saucers and the cards with which Mrs. Fitzgerald has been telling Mrs. Pearson's fortune. And you must be knowing which kind of cards these are. Yes, tarot cards. So Mrs. Pearson is a pleasant but worried-looking woman in her 40s. Mrs. Fitzgerald is older, heavier, and a strong and sinister personality. A little cruel and strict-like personality. She is smoking. So it is very important that these two should have sharply contrasting voices. Means when you are choosing these characters to enact in a class or on stage, then you must see that they have sharply contrasting voices. Mrs. Pearson speaking in a light, flurried sort of tone with a touch of suburban cockney perhaps. So this is regional touch. Okay. And Mrs. Fitzgerald with a deep voice, rather Irish perhaps, means the tone of her voice is of Ireland type. Mrs. Fitzgerald, now collecting up the card, now she collects all the cards. She has been telling fortune, and that's all I can tell you, Mrs. Pearson. Could be a good fortune, could be a bad one. All depends on yourself now. Make up your mind, and there it is. Generally, fortune tellers tell both kind of things, and they most of the time reveal. They reveal from us, means they tell some hint and more we speak to them. So, and they speak both ways, that suppose you take strict action, suppose you do this, whatever the remedy I have told you, then this will be better, otherwise this may. And later on when you complain, then, oh, you might have not done that much well, which was needed. Okay, like that. So fortune tellers are very clever people. Okay, so here she's suggesting something that you have to be strict with your family, and if you can, then that would be better. She's suggesting like this. So Mrs. Pearson, yes, thank you, Mrs. Fitzgerald. I'm much obliged. I'm sure it is wonderful having a real fortune teller living next door. Did you learn that out east too? Did you learn these things when you were living in the east? Mrs. Fitzgerald. I did. 12 years I had of it. With my old man rising to be Lieutenant Quartermaster, he learned a lot and I learned a lot more. But will you make up your mind now, Mrs. Pearson dear? Put your foot down once and for all and be the mistress of your own house and the boss of your family, of your own family. So she's suggesting like this. So now Mrs. Pearson smiling apologetically. That is easier said than done. Besides, I'm so fond of them even if they are so thoughtless and selfish. They don't mean to be. Now, Mrs. Rizal cutting in. Maybe not, but it would be better for them if they learn to treat you properly. Yes, I suppose it would in a way. No doubt about it at all. Who is the better for being spoiled? Grown man, lad, or girl? Now she is asking whether who is much spoiled one. Who is the most pampered one? Grown man, her husband, lad, her son, or girl, her daughter. Nobody you think it does them good when you run after them all the time, take their orders as if you were the servant in the house, stay at home every night while they go out enjoying themselves. Never in all your life it is the reign of them as well as you. Husbands, sons, daughters should be taking notice of wives and mothers, not giving them orders and treating them like dirt. And don't tell me you don't know what I mean, for I know more than you have told me. Now she is a fortune teller, and now she is saying that I can predict that what is going on, it can be much more. So now, Mrs. Pearson, dubiously, I keep dropping a hint. Hint? It is more than hint your family needs, Mrs. Pearson. I suppose it is, but I do hate any unpleasantness, and it is so hard to know where to start. I keep making up my mind to have it out with them, but somehow I don't know how to begin. She glances at her watch or at her clock. So, whatever can be arranged for this enactment on the stage. If there is watch, then she would look at the watch, and if there is a clock, then she would look at a clock. Oh, good gracious. Look at the time. Nothing ready, and they will be home any minute, and probably all in a hurry to go out again. As she is about to rise, Mrs. Fitzgerald reaches out across the table and pulls her down. Now, Mrs. Fitzgerald, let them wait or look after themselves for once. There is where your foot goes down. Start now. Now she lights a cigarette from the one she has just finished. She is a chain smoker. She uh, smokes one after the other. Now, Mrs. Pearson, embarrassed, Mrs. Fitzgerald, I know you mean well, means whatever you are saying, it is correct. In fact, I agree with you, but I just can't. And it's no use you trying to make me. If I promise you I would finally have it out with them, I know I wouldn't be able to keep my promise. Then let me do it. Oh no. Thank you very much, Mrs. Fitzgerald, but that wouldn't do at all. It couldn't possibly be somebody else. They would resent it at once and wouldn't listen. And really, I couldn't blame them. I know I ought to do it, but you see how it is. She looks apologetically across the table, smiling rather miserably. So now Mrs. Fitzgerald says coolly, you haven't got the idea. Now Mrs. Pearson got bewildered. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you asked me to let you do it. I did, but not as me, as you. But I don't understand. You couldn't be me. Now, Mrs. Fitzgerald coolly, we change places. Or really bodies. You look like me. I look like you. But that's impossible. How do you know? Ever tried it? No, of course not. Now, Mrs. Fitzgerald says coolly, I have. Not for some time, but it still ought to work. Won't last long, but long enough for what we want to do. So learned it out east, of course, where they are up to all these tricks. She holds her hand out across the table, keeping the cigarette in her mouth. Give me your hands, dear. Now, Mrs. Pearson is very confused, dubiously, doubtfully. She is, well, I don't know. Is it right? Now, Mrs. Fitzgerald says, it's your only chance. Give me your hand and keep quiet a minute. Just don't think about anything. Now, taking her hands, now look at me. They stare at each other, now muttering. They are now Mrs. Fitzgerald is speaking in such a manner that nothing is clearly audible. That is muttering. So now, like Arshatatam, Arshatatam, Lam, Arshata, Lam Dambuna. So, like these are magic spells. Huh? Don't try this at home because this is not the complete spell. Okay. So some spell is spoken. So like some words are given, like, but these are not magic spell actually. So these are like for magicians only. So this little scene should be acted very carefully. So we are to assume that the personalities change bodies. So after the spell has been spoken, both women still grasping hands go lax. Lax means loose. As if the life were out of them. Then both come to life, but with the personality of the other. So here we can say that they have changed their bodies. The souls have changed their bodies. So each must try to adopt the voice and mannerism of the other. So now Mrs. Pearson is bold and dominating, and Mrs. Fitzgerald is nervous and fluttering. So Mrs. Pearson now with Mrs. Fitzgerald's personality. So now personality is changed. Remember. See what I mean, dear. So she notices the cigarette here. So you don't want that. She snatches it and puts it in her own mouth, puffing contentedly, satisfactorily. So Mrs. Fitzgerald, now with Mrs. Pearson's personality, looks down at herself and sees that her body has changed and gives a scream of fright. So now Mrs. Fitzgerald, actually she is now Mrs. Pearson. So we can say that with Mrs. Pearson's personality. Oh, it has happened. Now Mrs. Pearson, complacently, of course it has happened. Very neat. Don't know, didn't know. I didn't know that I had it in me. So now Mrs. Fitzgerald is still alarmed. But whatever shall I do, Mrs. Fitzgerald? George and the children can't see me like this. Now, Mrs. Pearson grimly means seriously, they aren't going to. So that is the point. They will have me to deal with. Only they won't know it. They will not come to know that who is dealing them. So now Mrs. Fitzgerald is still alarmed. But what if we can't change back? It would be terrible. Here, study, Mrs. Pearson. If you had to live my life, it wouldn't be so bad. You would have more fun as me than you have had as you. Mrs. Fitzgerald. Yes, but I don't want to be anybody else. Mrs. Yes. Now, stop worrying. It is easier changing back. I can do it anytime we want. Now, Mrs. Fitzgerald. Well, do it now. Mrs. Pearson. Not likely. I have got to deal with your family first. That is the idea, isn't it? Didn't know how to begin with them, you said? Well, I will show you. So now, Mrs. Fitzgerald, but what? am I going to do? Go into my house for a bit. There is nobody there. Then pop back and see how we are doing. You ought to enjoy it. Better get off now before one of them comes. Mrs. Fitzgerald nervously rising. Yes, I suppose that is best. You are sure it will be all right? Now, Mrs. Pearson, chuckling. It will be wonderful. Now, off you go, dear.